somewhere in like the 2010s, maybe, Rogue got control of her powers. So she no longer has the oops, I touched you. I've stolen all your memories, powers, and everything.
That's kind of the best thing about her character.
Claremont uses that like pretty often in his run of Uncanny X-Men. Like, although it was always suspect to me that like whenever she steals somebody's power, she kisses them. Like, what woman do you know would randomly kiss
Anybody.
anybody?
Yeah. I'd be like, Rogue, I have a secret. Mm. How's it going, Phil?
Not too bad, Joe. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. I am bunkered down at home. It is, of course, snowing here and everywhere, in this half of the country anyway, so we're all in. You had said last week, "Hey, did you get your milk bread?" And I was like, "I don't know what that is, but I'm fresh out of milk bread." And you're like, "It's milk and bread." You know, did you stock up on the necessities? And I was like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. We got that. We're okay." But then on Saturday, before it started snowing, I said to myself, "What do I really need before I'm stuck in the house for 2 days?"
Mhm.
I went to the comic book store. So I went to the comic book store. I went to Main Street Comics in Milltown, New Jersey, which is a great store. Tons of great stuff. I went looking for a couple of specific things. Um, and I know I just said they're a great store. They are. They just didn't have what I was looking for. I went in looking specifically for Planet She-Hulk, which has 3 issues out now, and I wanted to get all three and just sort of dive into that world and explore and have fun, and see if it was as good as Planet Hulk was.
Mhm.
Because I love Planet Hulk or World War Hulk. Planet Hulk, yeah, Planet Hulk came before World War Hulk, and I loved it. It was so good, and I love She-Hulk as a character, and I thought maybe it would be a great combo, but I didn't read it yet because they didn't have the first one. They only had the second one. I may dive in. Here's the cover, gorgeous cover, love it. I may dive in and just hope that they explain just enough, just like I hope comics do, but who knows?
You know how I feel about missing an issue.
I know, I know, I know, I know. Hey, I know, but comics are built to be jumped in whenever you can. Um, I picked up 3 other things. I picked up a couple of Fantastic Fours I was missing. 4 and this is 7. This is a variant cover for 7. It's a cool variant cover, but part of me, I grew up in the era of no variant covers. So like I grew up in the era of flipping through the bin saying, "Oh, which ones do I have and which ones I don't have?" Variant covers would mess my mind up so bad because you so very much attach like an image with a number and that number being the next one in line. But if there are 6 of that number,
Yeah,
it's
it
very,
really messes that up.
yeah, I don't love it, but I couldn't say no to this gorgeous cover. It's so nice.
So
Anyway,
I actually have a story about variant covers that
please, yeah.
happened. So this was back in, I guess it would have been the like mid 2000s ish, whenever Joss Whedon was on Astonishing X Men, like when he started that. So it was coming out so infrequently. I think partially because of Joss Whedon, partially because of John Cassaday. Like both of them and their schedules and the time it took to produce the book just took a long time between issues. Um,
It was almost like doing comics was a side hustle for them. They're like, "We got other stuff going on." But anyway, go ahead.
so like I would pick up an issue whenever it would come out and just like go to the comic book store on Wednesdays. Like, oh, if it was there, I'd pick it up. So the one time I went there, I was like, oh, it came out. I picked it up, and then like I went home and I just started reading. I was like, this sounds familiar, and it was a variant cover,
Nope,
and
I'm out.
I didn't realize that it was a variant cover because there had been so much time between when the last issue came out and when that issue came out, which is I guess technically the same issue. That I thought it was a new issue, but it wasn't.
That's super frustrating. That's frustrating to the point where like you were a young man with limited funds, like, and here you are buying the same book over again by accident. That's enough to make you angry enough, me anyway, to never buy that book again. Like, I don't care if you love it. You're like, you know what? I might wait until it's out in trade form and buy and double dip then, because at least then it can live on a shelf where I can easily grab it. That's yeah. Variant covers are they're a blessing and a curse um, to different parts of my brain. Anyway, so I picked up those Fantastic Fours, and I picked up that She Hulk 2, Planet She Hulk 2, and I was looking for something else, and there was a new book out that I was like, oh, you know what? I'll give this a try, even though it's not really something I would normally pick up. It was Rogue #1. I think it's part of a limited series, and I popped it open, I flipped it open, and art was gorgeous, and it was telling. There were flashbacks of early Rogue when she was in the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. They had so like Mystique, Avalanche, Pyro, Destiny, um, and they had this old version of Sabretooth, like
Guinea Sabretooth?
get a swimmer's body, thin, big shoulders. But yeah, like Jim Lee did that big redesign of his costume, which has kind of disappeared a little bit since. But the early costume was great, just that orange, like with the fluffy.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing all these like little nods to the past, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. Let me give this a shot, even though like Rogue's not my number one X-Men. Um, she's just a character that I appreciate, but not really someone where I'm like, let's go. But I said, let me give it a try. So there were a few things going on inside that I had questions about, and it's been years since I've really been caught up with the X-Men. So she now okay. I'm going to talk a little bit about what happens in the book, but I'll try not to give away major spoilers. But she's now leading a team in Louisiana. She's the Louisiana chapter of the X-Men. Great. Terrific. And on this team are like basically the Sandman is a member of this team from DC Comics. Like not the old Sandman, but the Neil Gaiman Sandman. I mean, he's anyway. I have no idea who he is, and he's got a brother. It's like they say he's his brother. I don't know. I don't know these other characters, but I'm excited to learn about them. But it's her. It's those two, and then her and Gambit that are featured in this issue. Um, so those are new things. But the big new theme was like her and Gambit are casually just like touching, just like skin on skin contact, full on kissing, living the dream. And I was like, oh, this is new. I don't know what happened. So I flip back to the opening page, and I'm like, I read they're like, Rogue is a mutant, blah 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 blah. Nothing in there about it. Like, oh, and then she figured it out. Like she can now do this now. So issue 1 did not explain how this happened, but I'm rolling with it. I'm going with it.
I believe it was somewhere in like the 2010s, maybe even, I don't even know if it was maybe early 2020s, but Rogue got control of her powers, so she no longer has the "Oops, I touched you. I've stolen all your memories, powers, and everything." Um,
That's kind of the best thing about her character. My
well, so
Go
I
on.
was gonna say, like, so Claremont uses that like pretty often in his run of Uncanny X-Men. Like, although it was always suspect to me that like whenever she steals somebody's power, she kisses them. Like, what woman do you know would randomly kiss
Anybody.
anybody?
Yeah. I'd be like, Rogue, I have a secret. It's the best thing about her character. Or at least, certainly, it's the most original thing. I mean, it's her mutant power. Like, why would they? I guess she can still do it, but why would you take it away? Because her being not able to control it makes her also a tragic character. And I guess hot girls can't be tragic anymore in the 2020s. Anyway, uh, the story was still good, so I was still rolling with it. Um, and what happens is she goes to then investigate why she's having these visions of Sabretooth and these other people. And she goes to see Mystique and Destiny. And there's something she says about Destiny. She's like, Destiny looked at me like she could see right through me. And I was like, she's wearing a mask. Like, Destiny's always wearing a
Solid man.
mask. Yeah, it's not like you can even see her eyes. Like, it's solid. Destiny's got a mask on. Stupid. Um, but that's neither. So you've been running through the Claremont run, which is awesome, and Claremont has been so good about accents. Like even in the Marvel universe, it's basically a bunch of Americans, and then someone like Thor comes along and he talks different, and he talks differently in the text. You can like read along and be like, "Oh, I feel like I'm talking differently. This is wonderful." Claremont's like, "Hold my beer," because this guy's from Russia, this guy's from Germany, and all these your five core white X-Men, like I'm gonna really like mix it up. That's great. I love it because he really sticks to it too. Like um, Nightcrawler always talks with an accent. Colossus always talks with an accent. And when Gambit came in, he always spoke with an accent. And when Rogue came in, she always spoke with an accent, which is the hardest of them all because it's just a Southern accent. But like
It's a lot of sugars.
it's a lot of sugars and it's a lot of I know what I'm doing, like with the AH instead of I. Um, Tons of character, but some wires got crossed in a bad way when they're all like, let's romantically like this character who we can barely understand with this character we can barely understand, and let's make them the stars of a book together. I'm reading this thing and I'm like, I can understand what's going on because it's not that crazy, but it is a lot of accent work on the page, and it felt like a very strange experience. So much of it in one book. Uh, But I will say, Rogue number one was an unexpectedly fun read, and I'm curious to see how much they dig into her past. I think it's only a 6 issue series or something like that. But if issue two is just as good, I will pick up issue three. But we'll see.
Nice. Do you know who the writer and artist are for the books that you mentioned?
Let me see. Uh, for Planet She-Hulk, it's Phillips, Cooter, and Obach. It's Stephanie Phillips. I don't know if I've ever read any of her work, but I think she did all the other She-Hulk stuff. For the Fantastic Four, it's Ryan North and Humberto Ramos, who are I really enjoy their stuff, so I'm really into it. And for Rogue, writer Erica Schultz and penciler Luigi Zagaria. And it was Zagaria's art that sealed the deal for me. Like I cracked it open and I was like, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. Really clean, really dynamic. I love the way he draws her hair, which is different than the art on the cover. She has like poofy hair. It's kind of fun. Ri Bangs instead of like madness. Yeah.
I was gonna say, when they do the flashbacks of Rogue, um, does she have 2 stripes?
Oh, I don't know offhand. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. She was a mess back then. Thank God she got it together.
Yeah, somehow that those 2 stripes merged to become 1 big stripe.
She combs it over. Anyway, check out Rogue, and if you like hearing about single issues like this or like a best issue of the week, great. It'll like let me know because it will make me go back to the store more because I grew up reading comics and have definitely dropped the ball. But anytime I go to the comic store, I'm happy. It's always nice. So
Alright. Um, so what are you guys out there, what are you reading? Let us know in the comments below. Have you read the issues that Joe had picked up? No spoilers, but what'd you think? Um, and if you like this, hit that like button, and if you are new here, hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you all in the next one.